now everybody is so glued to their phones, right? When it's time to finally socialize, they cannot even put down their phones. It's so autopilot in the club especially, you know.
Yeah, but I think it's coming. Like, I think these no phone dance floors are coming to Singapore. For sure.
How are you going to enforce that, right? So difficult.
Yeah, but I think it's more, I don't think it's necessarily about having more rules that are going to be like telling people what to do. I think it's more like, I have this feeling where if you tell some people like, we want you guys to enjoy the night, we don't think that enjoying the night is about taking photos and having your flash on. This is our policy. And I think that a lot of people will be like, you know what, this is great. So when people tell me like, I'm going to open this place and we're going to have like no cameras in this room, I'm like, this sounds great. I'm down for it. And I bet you that there's a certain portion of people who are like, they're excited about going to a place where there's no phones on the dance floor. And then what you get is this kind of like, hopefully what you get is like more people enjoying it. So there'll be a weird moment. It's just like some of our parties. There'll be a weird moment where people are like, like they'll get their phone out with a flash and everyone's annoyed at them. Or people are like, I just want to take a picture of my favorite DJ, and they'll get annoyed with the venue. So there'll be like a bumpy period in the middle. But when it lands, I think what will happen is a bit like in these clubs in Berlin, like Panorama Bar. You can't take photos. But there's not like a bunch of DJs like throwing people out. There's a bunch of people who go there because they're not going to be have like a camera in their face.
Yeah.
The DJs love it more. And then for some reason, if someone does pull their phone out, people like the crowd self-police in like a really nice way. Like, dude, that's not what we do here.
Yeah.
Like, put your phone away, enjoy like the dancing. So like, I think that you need this kind of tension between like intention setting, like we think you guys have a better time with this, trust us. A little bit of like enforcing at the beginning, like people are not like positive representation, and then some people who are like, look, just don't do that. And then you have this like, once it's up and running, I think the word will spread like, this place is really cool and you don't need to take phones. And we're doing some of this stuff in our daytime programming where we're providing people with like Instax photos. So it's like more of like a core memory, so people get to take them home. But there's all this science around. Like I like going back to science. Like it's scientifically proven that you will have a better memory of an event if you don't take a photo. As soon as you take a photo, there's something about like, I'm not a scientist, I don't know, but there's something about this where like your memory is lesser if you take a photo. So all I want to do is I want to tell people this knowledge. Like I found this out.
Yeah.
So let me give you an Instax photo for free. You're going to put that on your fridge at home and you'll remember this night that we had together way better than like I'm not sure about how many photos you got on your phone. Maybe I've got like 10,000, 20,000, but like I don't scroll back and look at them.
Yeah,
that's what I realized. For me, my process is very easy. It's like I take a photo. If it's useful for the business, I'll put it online. I'll tag my friends, and that's it. And then maybe it's nice for us to have a photo archive. But I think the only people who should have a digital photo archive are people who like need to use it.
The editors lah.
Yeah. So I think that all those people who take photos of these nights out, like maybe think like how many times have you looked back at that photo that night or that venue, and maybe like just like have a thought, like next time you go out, is it going to be better that you leave your phone in your pocket? Like maybe. And I don't know, I just want people to have a good time. I'm not going to tell people like to not do stuff, but I bet you that if these behaviors start coming into club culture here, I think it's going to be a positive.
Yeah, definitely. Like, firstly, people will be there because they want to be there.
Yeah.
They don't just go just so as to be seen, you know.
Yeah.
So the level of enjoyment will be more organic, more intrinsic, I would guess. And then your crowds will naturally be there lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think that if you're in a club and you're bored and you want to reach for your phone, like that's okay. But I also would so some of the things that I've done in those moments is it's like led me somewhere really interesting. So I'll give you a good example. So we launched Immersion last September, so September 2023. September 2022, I was like 1 year into no drinking, and I did a party at our first small studio where everyone was drinking.
You quit like cold turkey.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it got to like midnight, and I was in our studio. So like my studio, like with my mates, playing the music I wanted to, and I was serving my friends drinks, so everyone had a good time. And I was like, you know what? I'm not enjoying this. So in that moment, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm bored in my own place, in the place that I love, that I've made like everything really intentional about for me. And I was the one that had changed. But I was like, well, like, what's this telling me? So instead of like trying to distract myself, like pulling out my phone and going sitting outside or telling other people that they were boring, I was like, well, what's this like weird thing trying to tell me? And I just sat on it for a few days. And basically what it told me was like, I probably should go out less at night. There's probably a bunch of people who are more like me, who like still love music, but like I didn't want to ditch my friends, but there's probably some people that I should hang out with a bit more. And this is probably teaching me like I should probably go and build something for me, just like we built the original Pearl for us. So like this bored moment is teaching me that I need to go and build something else for me in this moment. So like the me in this moment in like September 2023 was like immersion. I was like, okay, well, we're going to go and build a morning party because I like getting up in the morning. We're going to make it really health and wellness focused. We're going to play great music. And then therefore it has to be a sober party, but I don't want like a cheesy sober rave. And then like, I need to admit to myself that, in my life of like not drinking, it was maybe like 10% less like pumped than when I was drinking. So if you have like a shot, your dopamine spikes, like, or you drink a beer, your dopamine spikes. Like it's a fact. So if I don't drink, like I can't physically like spike my dopamine out of nowhere. I have to do something.
Yeah.
So you have to do like either do some breath work or like do something like physical, and that's when I was like, you know what, like let's do these cold plunges, because a cold plunge actually beats alcohol hands down. So a cold plunge gives you a 300% spike in dopamine. Like if you look at the graph, it's like a solid bar for like 2 hours or 3 hours.
Wow. After you end.
Yeah. So if you do like a shot of like tequila, you'll get like the 250, 300% spike in dopamine, but then it goes down after 20 minutes. But then
3 minutes.
20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes. Oh,
but then
damn.
if you do another beer or another shot, actually your spikes in dopamine diminish. So you can never get back to the first drink. Whereas a cold plunge, you stay like really steady. So you come to our immersion party, everyone's like pumped because of dopamine. If you try and you can't replicate that with alcohol. So it's a bit like having like electric cars versus petrol cars. They both exist for a reason, but the electric car has got like faster acceleration, and you can just never beat it. So like that's what these wellness parties are. Like they're kind of similar, but they're also completely different.
Yeah, you give people the high they need, right? But in an ethical and healthier way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually a pretty interesting fact.
And it's a free party. It's like, it's a free party where like, it's not messing up your schedule.
Yeah.
So like, you can come to our parties on a Friday, and like, let's hope we can get them relaunched soon. But, I'm not competing with anyone. I'm not competing with any of my mates. All my mates and actually I think that, and this is what I'm saying a bit about earlier. If you come to our morning party on a Friday, it means you can't go out on a Thursday. But maybe that party that you went on to on a Thursday was your kind of like one you didn't really need to go to. Maybe the ones you were looking forward to were the ones that were happening at the weekend. So like actually like, because you're going to have to wake up at like 5:30 or like 6 a.m. to come to our party, you can't go out on a Thursday. You have the most amazing morning. You'll feel really pumped. And then you've got all this energy, and then you're going to not have a hangover going into the weekend. So you're going to have like a better Saturday night. So that's what I like about this whole idea, is that it's not about doing one or the other. It's not about not going out or only doing wellness. It's about like, how do you optimize your lifestyle so you have like a better time? So like, it's a really nice like balance.